From 22nd and Mission, there were flames shattering windows, causing exterior building trim to fall, still flaming.
Where are we going there? Right up there, you too!
And eventually enough flames to force San Francisco firefighters out.
Here are the horns, I should say earlier. That was an all-out evacuation call for the firefighters to, first of all, we made the call to get them off the roof because the roof became untenable.
Firefighters rescued several people early on, 6 from a fire escape, another half dozen inside the building above Popeyes. The flames continued to push fire lines back as containment became close, then slipped away.
But the thing about fire is very dangerous. It did travel and take off into the attic space.
I started seeing like white smoke at first because they were like, I guess, putting it out. And then I started seeing like more flames moving towards more and more like towards the outside corner.
Initial attack turned into a defensive one with master streams of water sent from several hoses on ladders.
Mark Drucker sees the world differently.
I am moderately to severely colorblind.
Simply driving has always been a chore.
A hard time telling the difference between the flashing red and the flashing yellow lights.
Mark has a type of color blindness where the red and green cones on his eyes overlap, a genetic defect that left him seeing muted, dull colors for 45 years. Until that is, he found these.
I describe it like I've got a bit of a superpower now.
Enchroma CX sunglasses claim to transform colors outdoors from this to this.
I was taking them on and putting them off like, okay, that's really there.
10 million American men alone suffer from color blindness. We put the Enchroma CX sunglasses to the test.
Yellow, bright orange. Shirt looks blue to me, but with the glasses on, your shirt is definitely purple.
No glasses. What color is that tree?
The tree, the nettles, the branches all look to blend together into a dark brown.
When you put the glasses on, big difference?
Big difference. I can tell a distinction between the nettles and the branches. The nettles are much more vibrant green.
Here is a machine that we use for color vision testing.
We go inside the Berkeley lab where the CX glasses are made to ask creator Don McPherson how seemingly everyday-looking sunglasses can correct color blindness.
The glasses work by selectively removing certain wavelengths between the red and green cones that allow them to be, in essence, pushed apart again.
Translation, the defective red and green cones on Mark's eyes with these glasses on can see color like any regular pair of eyes.
An important aspect of just quality of life that you get from color.
But correcting color blindness wasn't Don's original experiment.
This happened almost by mistake.
The glasses were designed as protective eyewear for doctors doing surgery. But one day, Don wore them outside with a curious friend.
And my friend said, "Oh, those are cool. Can I borrow them?" And I went, "Here, wear them." And he said, "Oh, I can see the cones."
Bright orange cones. That friend, also colorblind. And just like Mark, the CX sunglasses opened up a new world where trees are green, flowers come in limitless colors, and a sunset can take your breath away.
But I get how amazing they are now, and I never really kind of was able to tell that difference before.
In Berkeley, Mark Kelly, KPIX 5.
Well, our Mike Sugarman spent the day with people who played hooky in this heat. And Mike, you sure were not one of them.
Well, kind of. I mean, so first of all, I'm dressed like kind of a dandy, but if you can't dress like this today, when can you? Although, this is kind of a lot of clothes, and I didn't feel like working that hard today. Now this is much better. Anybody supposed to be at work today? No. Yeah. No, nobody's supposed to be at work today.
Let's go A's!
A baseball in the bay.
Yeah!
Both sides.
I'm playing hooky from work today. I work at Jakara Designs and Fine Upholstery in Novato. And don't tell my boss I'm here, okay?
A little late for that. Aren't you supposed to be in school?
No.
Why not?
Because it's like a math day. We're learning more about stats about the pitchers.
Boy, does that sound like a crock. But here's teacher Carol Alonzo from their Pleasant Hill School. You're playing hooky with all of your class.
No, we are studying math.
That's their story, and they're sticking with it.
It's too hot to go to the Giants game today, so I decided to go play golf.
Lincoln Park, tee number 1, par 4, 300 yards. What are you hitting with today?
Driver.
Shouldn't you be at work?
Well, it's such a nice day, you know, you can't go to work on a day like that.
Oh, he's gonna like that one. His boss might not. I'll tell you how hot it is. Castro Market, there's not even a naked guy here. Hey, where are the naked guys? They only hang out here. Imagine the amount of SPF 50 sunscreen these guys have to use today. Just like at Ocean Beach. It's like this every day of the year. It's beautiful. The beach is just pristine and warm.
I thought it gets cold, foggy during the summer.
Oh, someone told them.
Yeah.
This was a great day. I hope my boss doesn't find out. Well, if you did come out to Ocean Beach today, you were also treated to a whale sighting. Pretty nice day out here. Live at Ocean Beach, Mike Sugarman, KPIX 5.
San Francisco police and California Highway Patrol are cracking down on distracted drivers, bicyclists, and pedestrians.
Oftentimes we do become distracted. Your cell phone may ring, you may be on the internet, and you're distracted.
The focus, the Van Ness corridor. San Francisco police say 4 deadly pedestrian accidents happened along Van Ness Avenue this year.
Anytime we have a collision, and especially when we have serious injuries or fatals, it's not only a concern of the police department, but it's also a concern of all the citizens.
Police say even one fatality is one too many. This year, San Francisco has already had a total of 7 deaths from roadway accidents. So officers kept the watch, stopping anyone who even flirted with breaking the rules. Lieutenant Hill said police are keeping an eye out for drivers talking or texting on their cell phone, speeding and running red lights, and pedestrians jaywalking or crossing the street illegally. A common violation that San Francisco police will see are cars crossing along the crosswalk before the pedestrian has even made it to the other side. It was a good thing I didn't cross the street then, Lieutenant Hill pointed out to us another danger.
As you were standing over there, I noticed that a couple of drivers were looking over here at your cameraman versus ensuring that there were no pedestrians crossing from under that walkway. Had you stepped off the curb, then, one of these drivers would have collided into you.
One thing this lieutenant wanted commuters to remember:
the majority of collisions can be avoided, and what we need to do as a public is just pay specific attention to our whereabouts and what we're doing.
So you decide, your text or your life. In San Francisco, Kate Kogirin, KPIX 5.
My son woke up, he goes, "Oh my God, Dad, the whole block's on fire almost."
Car after car burned to a crisp all along Grand Avenue, except this pickup. Call it slightly seared, thanks to light sleeper Joseph Duran.
I heard noises. Somebody was fooling around out here with the vehicles.
Looked out your window?
Yeah, I'm a super light sleeper, so that's why I heard it.
Joseph called 911 and grabbed the garden hose.
And I came in here and I squirted the water on it.
The self-appointed firefighter beat back the flames in time to save his son-in-law's small truck.
Fire started bleeding out more, and it got big, and I didn't want to lose it, so I stayed in there and battled it.
Before the night was over, at least 4 vehicles were torched within 7 blocks. This one so badly burned from bumper to bumper, rooftop to rims, it's hard to tell what kind of car it was. The son-in-law's truck still starts, although he won't be giving rides anytime soon. Joseph may not have caught the bad guys this time, but he'll keep sleeping with one eye open, just in case they come back.
The way those cars blew up over there, they would have started this house on fire. And we're all sleeping. The kids were up there and everything. So, yeah, I had a lot to think about here.
At 312 Fillmore in the Lower Haight neighborhood, rent requirements have gone through the roof, at least for regular people like this woman who asked us to hide her identity.
And people are afraid.
She tells me last week the landlord slipped this note under every door in the building, spelling out a new requirement for residents, a minimum annual income of $100,000.
I don't know why he's coming after you. Oh, I know. It's because he wants the better rent.
Good day to you, and thank you for calling. This is Robert Shelton.
The number you dialed has been changed.
We're sorry.
We spent most of the day trying to track down the landlord, Robert Shelton, calling several numbers and visiting several locations.
Just a P.O. box.
Mr. Shelton, it's Brian Webb with KPIX 5. We just wanted to talk to you about the rent situation here at your building on Fillmore. Mr. Shelton's address comes back to this building in Nob Hill, right across the street from the cathedral, one of the highest priced properties in the city.
The landlord cannot just go and harass tenants like this.
Tommy Avicoli Mecca with the Housing Rights Committee of San Francisco tells me landlords can make outrageous requirements for new tenants, but not the old ones. That, he says, is illegal.
So what does he do? He issues an eviction notice? It ain't gonna go anywhere.
I've lived here all my life.
This tenant of 23 years says it's simple. A landlord is pressuring the poorer residents to leave the homes they love, all in the name of profit.
I think it's a campaign of harassment.
In a world that bears its soul and many other things. Hello. A San Jose strip joint is being very conservative. I'd like to pay $15 to come in. No? Why not? You want to let me in? Likely because the pink poodle is being sued by the very strippers that people come to see. Though when we were here, nobody was coming in. They locked the doors. They're open. They really don't want to talk. Strippers here want to be paid at least minimum wage. Right now, clubs tend to charge strippers rent to dance for tips.
Positivity and, no shame approach to sexual stuff.
A precedent was set several years ago in San Francisco at the Lusty Lady, where strippers unionized, then bought the place. The Lusty Lady went out of business last year. Strippers here didn't want to talk either. There aren't a lot of strip joints left because of internet porn. And today, for as long as we were here, the pink poodle had no customers either. In San Jose, I'm Mike Sugarman, KPIX 5.
The Oakland Zoo scheduled 50 activities to celebrate Earth Day. But while most Earth Day visitors came for the elephants, giraffes, and other exotic animals,
Stop the zoo's bulldozers!
This group came to the zoo for the local animals, including newts, foxes, and the threatened whipsnake. Some of the species and rare plants, they say, will be harmed by a huge zoo expansion into the parkland at its back door.
Here we have very important habitat for at least one threatened species, and the zoo is planning to build on it. It's just crazy.
This is the land protesters and the zoo are battling over, Nolan Park. The zoo has plans for some 77 acres here.
We're taking a great deal of effort to conserve the park, to improve the habitat actually that's out there right now, removing of invasive plants, replanting with native grass, ensuring that we do our best to be as responsible as we can.
Project Chief Nick DeHegia says zoo plans are approved and have survived a legal challenge.
It's not just the whipsnake, it's the California condor, it's the western pond turtle, it's the mountain lion. We're taking a great deal of effort to work with native species.
DeHegia says the zoo works for animals all over the world, as well as those in its own backyard.
There's misunderstandings with some of the local people and organizations. We really hope they come to see the heart, the space that we come from when we do our work.
But those opposing expansion have little appreciation for the zoo's conservation efforts.
Save our park! The way to teach kids about conservation isn't to bulldoze existing wildlife habitat.